Hello, I'm King Koopa, and welcome back to The Koopa Show. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for choosing to watch this video review of Friday the 13th. It's the first Friday the 13th movie, and this movie is set on Friday, June 13th, which is today because it says it's set in present day. So, let's get your snacks and let's enjoy the show. Hello, before I get started, I'd like to introduce my co star. My co star has been on this show before multiple times and mews a lot, apparently, but I've never said his name before. And his name is Paramount. Paramount Pictures, okay? That's Paramount Pictures. And if you understood the reference, then you'd understand the reference, okay? The movie starts off in Camp Crystal Lake in the year 1958. And we see a group of camp counselors, I guess, and they're all having a guitar song or something. And they start singing about Tom Dooley. And I don't know who Tom Dooley is, but maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom.
The girl playing the guitar and the boy she's looking at, well, they sneak off and then they start kissing or whatever. We find out through the subtitles and also because the girl says his name like 10 times that his name is Barry, but I don't remember her name. It didn't show up. It just said girl. But Barry and girl are murder-related. Was it Tom Dooley? Unclear. Alright, so this movie happens today. What? I don't know if that's accurate. But it says June 13th, Friday, in also present day. So it's gotta be today, because that's today. Paramount, I'm telling you. Alright, let's see. Annie is gonna be the new cook at Camp Crystal Lake. Oh my goodness, it's Ralph.
It's got a death curse.
He's dead. Wait, no, he's not dead yet. He's not dead yet. Spoiler alert. Annie asks how to get to the camp, and then Enos, this guy named Enos, he tells her to quit because the camp, it's got a death curse. And then he drops her off at the crossroads. The movie then cuts to Marcy, Jack, and Ned, right? See, like, Marcy and Jack are boyfriend and girlfriend, and Ned is not. He's not anyone's boyfriend, okay? Because Ned is a dork. Ned's a huge dork, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. They pull up to the camp, and they're blasting some banjo music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, they're blasting the banjo music. When they pull up, Jack and Ned hop out the truck and they help Steve move. It's like a tree stump. Steve is the guy who is like, he's in charge. Steve is the guy who's opening the camp. He's like their boss. They're all going to be camp counselors, right? And then we meet Alice. She walks out of the house. Alice is like, she's the final girl, okay? Okay. Here we see Annie. She's been walking up the road for a while, and she's picked up by a Jeep. And the identity of the driver is a mystery. It's a mystery. It might be Tom Dooley. Instead of pulling off of the road where she's supposed to go up to Camp Crystal Lake, the Jeep just it speeds up, right? So she jumps out. She jumps out of the Jeep, and then the Jeep stops. Tom Dooley gets out and starts chasing her through the woods, and she gets murder-lated.
Guess I always wanted to work with children. I hate when people call them kids. Sounds like little ghosts. But when you've had a dream as long as I have, you'll do anything. Hey, wasn't that the road up for Camp Crystal Lake back there? I think we better stop. Please? Please stop. Please stop.
I'm gonna say this. The effects in this movie look pretty dang good. It looks fantastic. It was made in 1980. That's 45 years ago from now. But like the movie is today, so I don't know if it was 45 years ago or if it's now. I don't know. I'm a king. No wonder this movie spawned a multiverse of sequels, quote unquote sequels. Back at the camp, Brenda and Ned. You remember Ned? They're swimming, and then Marcy's on the dock, and like they're all chatting or whatever. And then when it's time to get out, Ned he pretends like he's drowning and freaks everyone out. That's really rude. Don't do that. That's bad. That's bad. Don't do that. But anyway, Ned did that just so he could sneak a kiss on Brenda, and that is creep behavior. We see what Alice is doing, and she's getting unpacked in her cabin for the summer because they're gonna, do a summer camp. And there's a snake in there in her cabin, and she calls in Bill, and Bill takes care of the snake. Now, I'll be fully serious here for a moment. The snake used in this movie was like a professional snake brought from a handler, like a snake handler brought the snake. And it was his pet, and he liked the snake, okay? And he wasn't aware that they were going to actually kill the snake on camera, which they did. And I'm gonna say this, that's super messed up, and I don't like that. That's rude and evil. That's evil behavior, okay? That said, in the universe of the movie where it's not where all the events are real, the natural reaction in this type of scenario would be indeed to kill the snake. So I don't fault the characters for killing the snake. I'll say that everyone has different opinions about wild snakes, but overall, everyone knows what the deal is. So, yeah, I don't got a problem with snakes. After that, they go outside as a motorcycle police officer shows up.
Nettie's just fooling around.
Yeah, right. I'm just fooling around.
Coochies.
And he's asking around. He's looking for Crazy Ralph. You remember Ralph, the "you're all doomed" guy from earlier? Well, they say they hadn't seen him. Like, we saw him because we're watching the movie and he talked to Annie, but Annie never showed up at the camp and she's supposed to be the cook, right? Well, they don't know that Ralph is actually already there, hiding in the pantry, and he waits for the cop to leave, and then he pops out. Ralph does. Ralph pops out of the pantry, and then he's a jerk talking about, "You're all gonna die." Even though that's what the guy in part 8 sounds like. That's what Ralph sounds like here, even though, yeah. Ralph was in the pantry with his death curse nonsense. Sure, Ralph. Sure. Jack shows Bill and Brenda how to work the generator. And while he's doing that, Ned wanders off. And he wanders around, and then he sees a cabin, right? And then they see somebody in there, and he wanders in there, and then we see Jack and Marcy. Jack met up with Marcy, and she's telling him about a dream she had about blood rain or something. But not the game, not the PlayStation 2 game. Like actual blood raining from the sky. Spoiler alert, you gotta wait till 2013's Evil Dead movie to actually see that happen in a horror movie. It's pretty wild. Marcy and Jack talk about how there's a big storm rolling in, and this scene is pretty good acting. I'll say this: it's Kevin Bacon and yeah, Marcy and Jack. Then they go into the cabin and they start Greek wrestling. Alice, Bill, and Brenda are hanging around, and Bill's playing the guitar. Brenda suggests they play Monopoly. Then we see that Ned, he's dead in the top bunk, and according to Dr. Jordan Breeding, that's why he never takes the top bunk, because you always get murder-lated in the top bunk. Apparently, Alice likes to party. And also, Jack likes to party, too. And as Jack is partying in the bunk, he gets the arrow through his neck. Like from under the bunk. And then Dr. Jordan Breeding also says that's why he doesn't take the bottom bunk either, because you can get an arrow through your neck. It's like, you can't even win. You can't win in a bunk bed, can you? Now, as I discussed previously in my Friday the 13th Part 2 review about the wheelchair kill of Mark as he fell down the stairs with the machete or whatever, being extremely iconic, well, this came first. And in my opinion, and my experience with it as a young hatchling Koopa type, this was absolutely horrific. And if you watch it on a older TV where the picture is kind of grainier, it looks extremely real and disturbing. But if you watch it on a newer conversion, it's clear where the application starts and the skin ends, and it detracts from the whole experience. That's my opinion. And I kind of feel firmly about that. Marcy's in the bathroom cabin, and she reads some graffiti off of the bathroom stall. Marcy notices the sink doesn't work, so she fixes it. And I have a personal beef against plumbers. What are we doing here? What is Marcy doing? Are you guys serious? Marcy fixes the sink because it wasn't working, and then axe to the face. Tom Dooley's putting in the work to kill all these characters, let me tell you what.
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley.
But I thought Jason Voorhees was the killer in these movies. Isn't that what you told me, Eddie the Edmontosaurus? Mew. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I didn't mention it earlier because it's fine, but Steve, you remember Steve? Steve, this guy, Steve. Well, he left to go. He went into town to go pick up some supplies or something, and he's at a diner, I guess getting dinner, and he's heading back to the camp now. He drives a Jeep, but this Jeep has a trailer, right? We see Brenda brushing her teeth and getting ready for a shower because when they're playing Monopoly, the cabin door blew open and the money blew everywhere, so they had to quit because I don't know if you try to play Monopoly with all the money mixed up after you've been playing the game a while, but it does not work. Steve's Jeep gets stuck, or the trailer gets stuck. I'm not sure, but the Jeeps are notorious for not working when there's difficult conditions on the road. You know what I'm saying? They're notorious for that. Brenda lays down to read, and she hears a boy outside shouting for help. What? She knows there's no kids. Brenda goes out to investigate a spooky noise in the woods. She goes out to the archery range where she heard it, but somebody cuts the lights off and on. And you know what? She doesn't find it amusing, but she also gets off screen to death in some fashion. We see her body later. Right after that, the power goes out. Bill goes out to check the generator and he turns it back on and it's fine. Then Alice goes with Bill to look for Brenda because she thought she heard Brenda screaming out by the archery range, and she saw the lights also at the archery range. And when they get to Brenda's cabin, they find the Marcy axe. No, not Marcy X. No. They can't find the others, Ned, Jack, Marcy, or Brenda. They're gone. They can't find him. And Steve is still gone too. The phones are dead. And Jack's truck that they drove, or Ned's truck, I don't remember, but it's also dead. And the cop drops off Steve. No, not that Steve. Not that Steve. Then Steve gets murder-lated. Not that Steve. This Steve.
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
The generator is turned off, and I'm pretty sure broken by Tom Dooley. Bill and Alice go to check because it's dark, and maybe it's out of gas, they don't know. Unclear. What is clear is Bill told Alice to get some sleep. Okay, dude. Okay, Alice. She takes a nap. Alice takes a nap while Bill gets off-screened by Tom Dooley. Now, Alice wakes up and makes coffee for approximately 10 years. The classic discovery run starts with Bill on the generator cabin door. She noticed the generator still is off. So she goes out to that cabin and sees that it's out there, and she closes the door and he's stuck on there with arrows. Then she runs back into her cabin and locks the door, and then Brenda's body gets chucked through the window. And it's unclear what happened to Brenda, okay? I don't know. I can't tell. She looks like she just got beat up. I don't know. The Jeep that killed Annie pulls up. Well, the Jeep didn't. Never mind. Here we have the classic monologue, which it's fantastic. This is fantastic.
Did you know that a young boy drowned the year before those two others were killed? The counselors weren't paying any attention. They were making love while that young boy drowned. His name was Jason. I was working the day that it happened, preparing meals. Here, I was the cook. Jason should have been watched every minute. He wasn't a very good swimmer. We can go now, dear.
I think we should wait for Mr. Christie.
Oh, that's not necessary.
I don't understand.
I am Jason. I am. You see, Jason was my son, and today is his birthday.
Where's Mr. Christie?
Oh, I couldn't let them open this place again. Could I? Not after what happened.
I wish this character had actually been in more of the movie. But where's Tom Dooley at? I'm waiting for Tom Dooley to show up and murder this old lady. Wait a minute. Is this old lady Tom Dooley?
Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom.
Mrs. Voorhees? That's Jason's name. Jason Voorhees. Well, they just disagree, you know what I'm saying? They just have a fundamental disagreement as per usual between an older generation and a newer generation. You know, there's just like a gulf of understanding that can't be crossed between the older generation and the younger generation. And because of this reason, they fight down to the beach, right? And Mrs. Voorhees, she's trying to kill Alice. But then the machete that Bill used to kill the snake earlier is there, and Alice grabs it, and Mrs. Voorhees really loses her head over this argument. Like, she can't keep it together, and she just loses her whole head over this argument, okay? After that, Alice gets into a canoe and sleeps again. Okay. Jason jump scare. Now, who the heck is Tom Dooley? Remember, Koopas, be kind to people you have no reason to be kind to. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I want you to have a nice day. Oh.